So the last couple months of grade 12 are supposed to be the best months of high school. Do you know what makes it not so good? Is when you don't even know if you're graduating on time. But before we get into the story time, we got a comment question of the day. What class did you absolutely hate in high school? You can go ahead, leave a comment down below, let me know, share your thoughts, and enjoy the rest of the video. Take it back to grade 12, passing all my courses first semester. I did drop a couple of courses in the second semester and switched them out for some easier ones, but nonetheless I was passing all my courses. English is only one semester in grade 12 and I had it second semester, so I only got one shot at it, and if I failed then I wasn't graduating. I really didn't have any choice in this, it's just kind of how the schedule got laid out. So English was never like a course that I was good in, but it wasn't necessarily a course I was really terrible in. It was just never my strong suit. I don't know if I've made grammar mistakes in my videos, but I did tend to make them from time to time when I'm doing writing. And by the time I got to grade 12, I was pretty much not trying in all my other classes. My marks had already dropped a lot. For example, my math went from like a 90 in grade 9 to like 65 the first semester of grade 12. So it was sort of a recipe for disaster for English at this point. I really didn't try. I didn't do anything. I sat there with my buddy. That was the class I greened out in. I told the story about my first dab. Not even just that day, just in general, man. I didn't do any work. I just sat there on my phone. I fell asleep in class constantly in all my classes. I managed to hold it together for a bit. So like at the midterm, I'm pretty sure I had like a 70 or something. And then the second half of the semester, I was like, all right, I have a 70, so I only need a 50 this half of the semester. And I just completely just stopped doing everything. I just completely stopped putting any effort in anything. I missed a bunch of assignments. Decided not to do them, and then the last week of school came. Teacher's like, Eric, you have a 46. Like, you have a 46 and there's only 1 week left of school. And she's like, you have, and she gave me a list of all these assignments. Plus, on top of that, I did a term paper. Thank goodness I didn't slack on that term paper because I may not have graduated if I did. And so for my topic on my term paper, I had to compare something we read in class to an outside source of media. So I decided to do the gay relationships between Randy and Mr. Leahy and compare it to a short story we read in class about a gay couple. I just did it because I like Trailer Park Boys. I've watched every episode several times. I knew the series really well and I thought it'd be kind of funny. But my teacher is like a huge feminist, so she really liked it. She ended up giving me like a 96 or something on my term paper. That was a huge driving factor into how I passed. Term paper aside, she hands me a list of these assignments, probably 7 of them, and she's like, you need to pass these in tomorrow or I'm calling home and letting your parents know that you won't be graduating. Well, I will have those done. I went home, I picked up like a quarter bag of weed. I smoked all night, a ridiculous amount of weed, and I was 180% just focused on my computer screen. I think I did 4. I passed in those 4 assignments. I got my term paper mark back. That was Tuesday of that week, my last week of classes. And so when I got the term paper mark back, I did really good on that. And with the assignments I passed in, I said, can you not call home because I am passing this course? I just passed in half of my zeros and I got a really high mark on this term paper. And I plan on acing the exam too. I was like, I'm not failing this course. And she says, I will think about it. I never said anything when I went home. I never said anything all week. Mom never said anything to me. So if I had failed English, I wouldn't have been able to graduate with a proper graduation ceremony. I would have had to go to summer school and they would just gave me my diploma then. So like that's kind of a huge deal, and that's something that definitely my parents would have freaked out about. That alone was enough to me to literally like, all right, I need to get my shit together right now. So the next Monday I had my exam. And with 4 of my 7 zeros not being zeros anymore, and with a very high mark on a term paper that was worth 10% of my grade, I had 14% of grade to make up. And I felt like I had done it. At the minimum, I should pass this exam. So I studied the whole weekend. 4 years of high school, I could probably count on one hand how many exams I studied for. 0 tests. Yeah, it was a pretty big deal, this exam. And when I went in, I did it. I thought it was pretty decent. I thought I passed it. I was like, all right, I should be passing English. And then as the week went on and I did the rest of my exams, I started freaking out, wondering, oh man, I might not pass this. I had no idea for the whole week. And then the following Monday, I had to go in to get my report card. And that Sunday night, we went out to my buddy's camp and it was about a half hour out of town. And we got fucking hammered. And I kind of forgot that I had to get up early. Thankfully, I had an alarm set earlier in the day. If I forgot, I'd still have my alarm go off in the morning. And it did go off, and at that moment I felt so fucking terrible. My head was pounding in, like I was shaking, sweating in bed, hungover as shit, and I was like, this means one thing, and this means I'm getting drunk. I'm getting drunk before school. It was the only opportunity for me not to be hungover all day. So, you know what I did? Finished off like the half bottle of wine that was still sitting from last night, and I shotgunned a beer, 7:30 in the morning, went into school, half in the tank, got my report card, found out I passed English, went screaming and hollering down the hallway. drunker than a skunk, and I left, and that was the last time I ever stepped foot inside high school. And that'll just about do it today, guys. So if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and I'll catch you on the next story time.